It's pretty wild to think about, but Japan actually has more millionaires per capita than almost any other country on Earth. But the craziest part, if you walk the streets there, you'd literally never know it. There are no flashy cars, no flexing on social media, just this invisible generational wealth being built quietly in the background. Meanwhile, let's look at American hustle culture. We are constantly stressed about money, working harder, making decent incomes, but somehow we're always ending up broke and living paycheck to paycheck. So how did a nation completely rebuild its economy from literal ashes after World War II to become an economic powerhouse? Well, it wasn't a magic trick.
Okay, let's dive into this. On one hand, we've got this loud and broke mindset. This is basically the Western approach, right? It's highly stressful, incredibly wasteful. We literally throw away 30 to 40% of the food we buy, and we're just constantly upgrading perfectly good items. But then, on the flip side, you have the quiet wealth mindset. This is the Japanese approach. It's all about invisible wealth, financial peace, and relying on really small, sustainable daily habits. And honestly, the most mind-blowing part about all of this is that building wealth this way requires absolutely zero luck. It just requires 9 simple daily practices. So let's break down exactly how you can implement these habits starting today. Phase 1, seeing and stopping waste. You can't fix what you can't see.
Our very first habit is Kakeibo. Invented way back in 1904, it's a mindful financial ledger where you write down every single expense by hand. And look, I know we all have a million budgeting apps on our phones, but the physical act of writing, it just hits completely differently. Most people have literally no idea where their money vanishes. It just disappears into this black hole of unused subscriptions and late-night food deliveries. Kakeibo forces you to face reality. Take this one story from our source material. A woman tried this method, started writing things down, and immediately found $400 going to forgotten subscriptions, $300 on impulse lunches, and $200 on apps she didn't even remember downloading. Just by being aware, doing nothing else, she built a $10,000 emergency fund in a single year. No way, right? But it works.
So Kakeibo asks you to place every expense into one of 4 buckets. You've got survival for your bare necessities, like rent, optional for things like those streaming services, culture for things that enrich your life, like books or museums. There's this ancient proverb that says, the palest ink is better than the best memory. When you physically write it down, you see the truth. Actually, studies show that just the act of writing down your expenses automatically cuts your spending by 15 to 20%. You aren't even actively restricting yourself. You're just finally waking up to your unconscious spending. Habit number 2, motanai. This essentially translates to a deep regret over waste and a profound respect for resources. Over here in America, the disposable mentality is just normal. We buy a shirt, wear it twice, and toss it. We throw out nearly half the groceries we buy. Guys, that is a massive silent wealth leak. Motanai teaches us that every resource has inherent worth. Wasting something isn't just an environmental issue. It's a flat-out financial tragedy. You're quite literally throwing away the hours of your life you worked to earn that money.
To put a real dollar amount on how much this waste costs, $8,000. Our source highlights a man who decided one weekend to just clean out his garage and closets. He found $2,000 worth of completely unused tools, $3,000 in clothes that still had the price tags on them, and piles of unopened kitchen gadgets. In total, he had $8,000 in purchased items that were completely wasted. Once he realized this massive leak, he adopted motainai. He started buying only after a waiting period and completely using things up before replacing them. The very next year, he saved $6,000 just from not buying things he knew he'd eventually waste. Avoiding waste literally builds your future wealth. Phase 2. The power of small disciplines. How tiny, disciplined pauses create massive wealth over time.
So the crucial turning point here is habit number 3, kaizen. This means continuous small improvements. In the West, we absolutely love the dramatic overnight transformation, right? We try to completely overhaul our entire life on Monday, we totally burn out by Wednesday, and we're right back to our old ways by Friday. Well, kaizen is the exact opposite. It is all about tiny, sustainable improvements. If you apply kaizen to just, say, making coffee at home instead of buying it, day 1, you save $5. Seems tiny, right? But skip ahead to year 1, and that's $1,825. If you invest that at an 8% return for 20 years, it compounds into $91,000. One tiny change equals nearly 6 figures. This exact philosophy is how Toyota became the most valuable car company in the world. Start so small you literally cannot fail, and just watch it compound. Let's see how this builds into habit number 4.
Hara Hachibu, the longest living people on Earth who live in Okinawa, practice this daily health rule. They eat until they are 80% full. They stop before they're stuffed. Well, it turns out this health rule is accidentally an unbelievable wealth-building rule. If you apply this 80-20 split to your finances, you satisfy 80% of your wants and needs, and you leave a 20% gap completely untouched. That 20% gap is where true wealth lives. You aren't depriving yourself. I mean, you're still fulfilling the vast majority of your desires, but you're resisting that final 20% that always costs the most and honestly delivers the absolute least satisfaction. Live on 80%, save 20%.
But you might be wondering, how do you actually resist the temptation to spend everything you have? That's habit number 5. Gaman. This means endurance and self-discipline. It's the ability to sit with discomfort and actually delay gratification. We live in this Amazon one-click instant gratification world. Gaman defeats that completely with a really simple 30-day rule. Step 1, add that shiny new item you desire to your cart, but do not hit buy. Step 2, just sit with it. Wait for 30 days. Step 3, delete the 90% of things you realize you no longer actually care about. Most of our desires fade entirely if we just give them a little breathing room. This single muscle, the ability to just wait, literally predicts future success and wealth. Phase 3. Purpose, imperfection, and repair. Shifting the focus from buying things to cherishing what we have. Habit number 6 is Ikigai, your reason for being. Honestly, this might be the single most overlooked financial strategy in existence. Think about it. So many people work 40 hours a week in a high-paying job they absolutely hate. And what happens? They spend their entire weekend engaging in incredibly expensive retail therapy or booking massive vacations just to cope with the absolute dread of Monday morning. But when you find your Ikigai, which is the exact intersection of what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what pays you, you drastically reduce your financial stress. Our source features a wild story of a guy making $80,000 a year who was so miserable he was spending $11,000 annually just on coping mechanisms. He ended up switching to a job he loved, making $45,000, and his coping spending dropped to zero. He actually ended up saving more money while making less. Why? Because fulfillment is vastly cheaper than coping. Habit number 7 shifts us away from that endless trap of social media comparison. Wabi-sabi is the practice of embracing imperfection. We see these perfectly curated houses and cars online, and suddenly our perfectly functional stuff feels inadequate. The pursuit of flawless is the enemy of financial freedom. Our source tells the story of a couple who dropped $45,000 on a kitchen renovation only to walk into their neighbor's kitchen a week later and immediately feel inadequate all over again. If they had just embraced wabi-sabi, they would have seen the beautiful lived-in charm and character of their original kitchen. If they had invested that $45,000 instead, it would have turned into $120,000 over 20 years. Contentment is literally the foundation of wealth. When things do eventually wear out or break, we arrive at habit number 8, kintsukuroi. In our hyper-expensive replacement culture, we're basically trained to toss a perfectly repairable $200 jacket just to buy a new one. But kintsukuroi, which is the beautiful Japanese art of repairing broken pottery with actual gold, teaches us that breakage and repair are part of an object's unique history, not the end of its usefulness. You can apply this to everything. Patch the jacket for $20, fix the $600 appliance for $100, maintain your older car instead of taking out a massive loan for a $40,000 new one. A repaired item actually has way more character than a perfect, sterile replaced one, and choosing repair over replacement is going to save you thousands of dollars every single year. Phase 4. The art of strategic acceptance. Releasing financial anxieties to focus entirely on what you can control. This brings us to our final habit, number 9. Shogunai. It translates to, it cannot be helped. Now, I know, that might sound a little bit defeatist at first glance, but it is actually a highly strategic form of acceptance. In the West, we carry this heavy, sometimes overwhelming weight of things we simply cannot change. The broader economy, rising inflation rates, the fact that somebody else has generational wealth, or even our own past financial mistakes. We stress out, and then we spend money trying to feel better about it. Shogunai is the practice of looking at these unchangeable facts, gently saying it cannot be helped, releasing the stress, and then pouring 100% of your energy into your daily actions. Think about the things you just have to accept and release. You can't control the economy, you can't control someone else's inheritance, and you definitely can't change your past mistakes. Shogunai. Just let them go. But look at where your actual power is. You completely control your daily spending, your savings rate, and your daily habits. There was this one woman in our source material who was burning $600 a month on stress shopping purely because she constantly compared herself to friends who were financially ahead. Once she practiced Shogunai, she just accepted she couldn't change their advantages, she stopped comparing, and redirected that exact $600 into savings. Within 3 years, she banks $25,000 on the exact same income. All of your wealth is built in that controllable space.
choice. Phase 5. Starting your wealth journey. Quiet wealth is patient, disciplined, and undeniably powerful.
The entire philosophy of these 9 Japanese habits really just boils down to these simple daily choices. Choose awareness over ignorance with your Kakeibo ledger. Choose discipline over impulse using Gaman and that 30-day rule. Choose contentment over comparison by embracing wabi-sabi. And please remember the Kaizen approach. Whatever you do, do not try to adopt all 9 of these habits at once today. That is the American way, and it's a total recipe for failure. Just start ridiculously small. Master one habit, let it become second nature, and then add another one next month.
Quiet wealth isn't loud. It isn't flashy. It remains completely invisible until one day it becomes absolutely undeniable. You don't need to win the lottery, and you don't need a total life overhaul to start changing your financial future. You just need to make one choice today. So looking at these incredibly powerful principles, which single habit will you start today? Take a moment, pick just one.